Russia and Ukraine are expected to sign today a much-anticipated deal brokered in Turkey to allow the flow of grain and fertilizers from the war-torn region. The agreement, based on a UN plan, would see grain exports resume through the Black Sea. The safety of the shipments is expected to be overseen by a UN monitoring group based in Istanbul.
What we're trying to do is have an agreement that would allow for Ukrainian and Russian food and fertilizer to reach global markets. As you know, we've pointed out for many months how serious the food crisis around the world is, and this is a component, a large component of that crisis. So if we can resolve this, well, the situation remains a little bit fluid, so I can't really say when something will be signed.
However, some sides remain skeptical over Russia's commitment to the deal.
The fact is that to date, Russia has weaponized food during this conflict. They have destroyed agricultural facilities. They prevented millions of tons of Ukrainian grain from getting to those who need it. As I said, we welcome the announcement of this agreement in principle, but what we're focusing on now is holding Russia accountable for implementing this agreement and for enabling Ukrainian grain to get to world markets.
This could be the first major deal between the warring sides since Russia invaded Ukraine. It is also seen as a solution to a looming global food crisis. NATO member Turkey has played a key role in facilitating talks.
Daria Isachenko is an associate at the Centre for Applied Turkish Studies at the German Institute for International and Security Affairs and joins me to discuss further. So what's the deal, and are you surprised that they got here?
Actually, not so much. Turkey is not a newcomer. Turkey has been involved in mediation, for example, of exchange of prisoners even before the start of the war in February. Then the expectations went high when Turkey hosted the talks. But we have to acknowledge that this actually depends on the nature of the conflict is such that Turkey cannot solve the conflict, but Turkey can do such steps as, for example, in this grain issue, so that there is still an important contribution in humanitarian sphere, like with the grain issue.
Okay, but why is Turkey mediating? Why have they helped broker this deal?
One, if this deal is signed and appears so, then it would at least temporarily somehow freeze the situation in the south around the Odessa city, because there will be this corridor exporting grains, so it would limit Russia's military actions in that area. So, and this is important not only for Turkey but also for Ukraine. Second, it is a contribution to solve the food crisis, and third, it's of course about visibility, because this would allow Turkey to increase its standing on the international arena. But also fourth, I would point out that it will be also a way for Turkey to keep, somewhat keep the balance, not only in favor of Russia, but also in favor of Ukraine, because grain issue has been a challenge for Turkey-Ukraine relations.
So what are the practicalities, but also the pitfalls of putting this deal in place?
There have been several issues difficult to solve. For example, the question of demining, which was unacceptable for Ukraine because security comes first for Ukraine. But there have been statements that apparently there will be corridors that do not require demining. For Russia, there have been two important issues. One is examination of ships, that the ships carrying exporting grain might come with weaponry delivered to Ukraine, and also the lifting of sanctions on food and fertilizers.